My plan is to just record a quick episode today on something that is on my mind and something that I think might be holding me back in terms of really testing and pushing boundaries in terms of my marketing message and getting it out to the world. And that is marketing in an ethical way, or a way that feels aligned with my values. And probably more importantly, this need or desire that I have to make sure or ensure that I am not marketing myself in a way that I am perceiving to be unethical. If you're running your own business and have experienced stress and anxiety that can show up when facing sales calls or creating content or just getting your message out to the world in general, I know how you feel. I've personally dealt with this issue and have spent a lot of hours over the years figuring out how to overcome my own fear of visibility. And I have put together everything that's worked for me into a quick Google Doc with a short 5-minute video explaining how I use these tools. And if this sounds interesting to you, if you'd like to have this as a free gift, all you need to do is reach out, let me know where to send it, and it's all yours. Hello, and welcome back to the From Zero to Marketing Hero podcast. My name is Paul Heron. I'm a life coach and entrepreneur, and over the years, I've been building a successful one-on-one coaching business. During that time, I've worked with dozens of clients to help them live life on purpose and on their own terms. I've been through this process myself, and now I'm lucky enough to be able to help others on their own unique journey. This podcast is my latest effort at continuing to push myself out of the comfort zone. Over the last 5 years, I've predominantly outsourced marketing, but I recently decided this is the year I'm going to figure this stuff out. And I decided to create, post, upload a podcast episode every single day for the next 12 months to not only document the journey, but to give you guys a little bit of a look at all the highs and lows along the way and hopefully provide a ton of value. So without any further ado, let's get into today's episode, where I just want to explore this idea that's on my mind about marketing ethically and what that means to me. Now, before I even start, I kind of know that just the simple fact that this is on my mind probably means that I'm overthinking it and don't have anything to worry about. But I do think it's an interesting thing to just spend a few moments exploring. And I'm not sure whether this is about my own resistance or my core values. Certainly both of those, there's elements of both of those things probably incorporated into this. But the real reason why this is on my mind at the moment is because as a coach, I'm constantly getting marketed to. And what I see show up on my social media feeds, I see some really outlandish promises, and I know that they work. I know these ads work because there's a little part of all of us that really believes in these quick fixes, or believes in the idea that this problem that we're trying to solve, we can just have a recipe handed to us on a platter and everything is going to be perfect. This is going to be the only thing I need, and onwards and upwards. But what I have personally realized is that I've succumbed to some of this stuff. I have purchased coaching packages that literally have had it in the title, next 5 clients in the next 30 days. And while there was absolutely some valid information, in the end, that recipe that I purchased just was not for me. It didn't work. And what I have come to understand and realize is that is not how I want to be marketing my business. Now, the challenge that I have as a coach and as someone who is not selling information, there's a wealth of information out there. We've all got the information at our fingertips. What I'm selling as a coach and as a service provider is the ability to be able to hold that space to enable the person I'm working with to implement some of this stuff, to start taking action and doing the things that they know they should be doing, and tackling the resistance that's getting in their way. And the challenge that I have as a marketer now is, how do I create a narrative, create a story, create content that cuts through the noise, particularly when that noise has promises of a quick fix built into it. And I guess this is partially the problem that I am trying to work my way through at the moment. I've tried to create some content and some value-driven resources that can be downloaded around some of this very stuff, some of this foundational level daily planning, continuous improvement, becoming the action taker, really changing things at that identity level. But to this point, this isn't as effective as calling out the specific challenges that people are facing. And I guess that's where this question of ethics and ethical marketing and ethical marketing message is really coming from, I guess. And I think in some ways it's back to the real problem versus the perceived problem that people are out there sort of working through themselves. If I come back to that example of a coach who's trying to find clients, I now know myself that the only solution is to break the process down into various different tasks and to ensure that we're showing up regularly and consistently doing the things that we need to be doing, developing certainty around our process and our mathematical problem, the mathematical challenge we're trying to work out. How many comments do I need on my social media post? How many of them are going to turn into sales calls? How many of them are going to turn into paying customers? There's a mathematical formula that we can start to get to the bottom of, but ultimately we need to ensure that we're showing up to do the work each and every day. And we are taking responsibility for figuring this stuff out. And I think this is where this ethical question pops up, because there is no one-size-fits-all recipe that is guaranteed to work in your situation. It's just not possible. And anyone saying that there is, I believe, has crossed this line of what I'm talking about. But that's what I find myself competing against. So exactly what this looks like and how my message is affected by this, I just need to keep trying different things. I need to try and find ways to continue to cut through the noise in ways that are aligned with my values, being honest, or as honest as I can all the time with my message, ensuring that I'm not doing any bait and switch type tactics to, get their attention and then sell them on something completely unrelated altogether. I think following on from the conversation I had yesterday on ensuring that my message is talking about both the current situation and the desired situation, the desired destination, ensuring I talk less about the specific solution until the appropriate time. I think there is a lot that I can still continue to focus on, all while still keeping an eye on the ethics, I guess, around the marketing message. So as well as continuing to redefine within myself what an ethical way of approaching this looks like. Because there have been a few other challenges that have probably contributed to this, if I'm completely honest. I've been creating some reels, some content on the various different processes that I'm offering my clients. I did get some negative comments, which maybe were completely out of context. I'm not sure exactly what's happened there, but I think it has had an impact on me, and maybe I'm being overly cautious with the message I put out there now. But I think all of this feedback has been really beneficial, just going through this process right now of thinking out loud. And I think just having this question at the top of my mind is absolutely going to ensure that I remain approaching this in an ethical way, which I think is just going to continue to lead to more positive outcomes, which is what this is all about. So I might leave it there for today. I hope this made sense. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. If this is something that you've been struggling with yourself, it'd be fantastic to start a conversation. I'm very much anyone who is resonating with my message. I'm very much interested in having as many conversations as I can to really start to understand how it is being perceived on the other side. So reach out, start a conversation. I would love to hear from you. If you have experienced a fear of visibility in any way, if you have experienced stress and anxiety at the prospect of putting yourself out to the world, I have put together the steps that I took to overcome some of this stuff, or particularly what I used to get started overcoming some of these things. It's a quick 5-minute video with some basic steps on how to get started. So if this sounds interesting, just reach out, let me know where to send it, and it's all yours. The best place to reach me is to head over to my website, paulheronlifecoaching.com. There's a few different ways you can reach out there, but yeah, just reach out, let me know where to send it, and it's yours. Finally, if you're enjoying the podcast, please consider hitting subscribe. It really does go a long way in helping to share the show with a wider audience. And until tomorrow, have a fantastic day today. Bye for now.